All right. Well, I wanted to give you a little bit of a summary of some of the chapters that you've been reading for the Ag Finance class here. We have just taken a look at Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 in the Financial Management book. And then the corresponding chapters just a little bit, you can find a lot easier to read, I think, and a little more farmer friendly, a little more information about how it fits in the farming out of the Fearless Farm Finances. You'll also find, I'm going to place this video in our resource tab under the financial management tools. There's also links to other documents from some university extension services around the country describing a balance sheet and how to use it, how to set it up, your income statement and your cash flow statement and cash flow budgeting. Those tools are crucial that we're going to work on with for the rest of this semester on how to do analysis from these. So being able to get those out are a key component of this first half of the semester, and we will go over the income statement again. One of the things I really like about Eggplan, I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me harp on Eggplan, but it is a nice, simple tool. That new Ag Financial piece of that tool is very powerful. Ability to build your balance sheet and your income statement, to do a monthly cash flow budgeting system, and then it also computes some of the financial analysis ratios that we're going to look at and talk about more in the second half of the semester. It automatically computes those right as you're entering your data on your farm. Anyway, let's just take these. I put the PowerPoint and a PDF document in here next to this video, so you can download the PowerPoint and make notes. The book, the Financial Management, has a lot of key information in it. It can be a little tough to read, though, I think, some of the things in there. But take a look at the summary and the key components in the summary. I'm not going to go through every slide here today, because that gets a little long on a video. You can go through it, and if you have questions, by all means, post them on the question board or email me. But I did want to point out a couple of the key components. The learning objectives are all laid out there. One of the things that I'd like you to take a little bit of time thinking about is this financial flow chart. It's figure 1.1 in the book, so you can find it in there or you can look at it here. But it's talking about your year of financial planning is basically what this is looking at, from building a beginning of the year balance sheet and then how inputs go into that to look at your cash flows and your income statement over the year, and then to an end of the year balance sheet. And then how does that affect your growth in net worth or owner equity in the farm? This is something to wrap your mind around. It's a nice flow chart talking about what you want to do year in and year out on your farming business. One of the other things that this does talk about is why agriculture is different than other businesses as far as the risks that are involved. It might be nice if you dig into that a little bit and take a look at some of the differences. I'm sure most of you already know if you've been farming for long, but there's some good differences that matter, big impactors in agriculture versus other businesses. The other thing this book talks about in chapter 1 touches on is the strategic management process. A lot of us don't really want to think about that as far as on our farm, but if you were in the first semester's course, the Ag Business Management course, we worked a lot on developing a mission statement and forming objectives. And now we're building these tools that can help us evaluate our farm and understand the financial aspects of it. But this is a key issue that one of the things that if you're going to own a farm and you want to get into this, you have to get away from if you looked at Dan Smith's presentation from DADCAP, he talks about what he calls barn blindness and getting out of the day-to-day muck of what I need to get done and actually stepping back and starting to think like a CEO of a business and how to become a manager. Some of the farmer sections in the Fearless Farm Finance book talk about that a lot too. Just having to make the time to do this management points being an administrator of your farm. That's what this course is really trying to help you do, and set up a system that will help do that. So take advantage of being in the course and the time that you have to work on that. These are some of the other things that we mentioned. This page talked a little bit about this. It's about some of the biggest issues. Is one of the biggest issues, of course, is cash flow pressures, and when you have cash coming in and out of the farm business. So we're going to work on that by setting up and looking at our cash flow budgeting system. But that's something to think about. That's a major part of whether or not you're going to make it in farming, is keeping that in order. You can page through that and take a look at the notes, look back at the sections and find more information about that. And then the corresponding sections really are sections 1 and 2, or chapters 1 through 9, I believe it is. Let me take a look here. 1 through 7 in Fearless Farm Finances talk a lot about the same things of setting up your record keeping system and understanding why we do this. The chapter 2 gets into the they cover 4 main documents that are used for financial scorecards: the balance sheet, the income statement, the statement of cash flows, and they also look at a statement of owner equity. We won't really get into that quite as much in this class, but we definitely are developing a balance sheet and an income statement, and the cash flows, we'll look at both the statement of cash flows as well as using a cash flow budgeting system, and then how to analyze these documents. But this is a good chapter on setting those up. And then again, in Fearless Farm Finances, section 3, chapters 8, 9, and 10 really walk through setting up each one of those documents as well. And then I also, as I mentioned earlier, I have some other resources to links to other documents from University Extension Services around the country that can provide a little more information for you, a little different way of talking about the same thing, the importance, but finding a way to wrap your mind around these tools is a vital part of getting not just through the rest of this course, but also being successful in your farming career. Not too many people go into farming to think about running a business, but the reality is that when you're in it, you are running a business, and we need to do that. In the first semester courses, we talked a lot about this quality of life, that farming is more about a quality of life and being able to define what that looks like. Well, one of the challenges to quality of life is that if you don't have money to pay the bills on time, quality of life diminishes really quickly. So that's what we're trying to wrap our minds around in this semester in this Ag Finance course. So these 2 documents are out there as either a PDF or these 2 chapters are either out there as a PDF document that has a notes page that you can print off and make some notes on, or this PowerPoint document if that's the way you want to look through it. But they go right along with the 2 chapters in the financial management book, and then, as I mentioned, also the corresponding chapters in Fearless Farm Finances. Okay, well, as always, if you have questions, be sure to email me or put them on the question board on the discussion page. From there, apparently I have a meeting to get to, so I'm going to sign off.